President Trump holds an emergency White House national address to walk back Secretary of State Marco Rubio's statement to the press that it was Israel who was the imminent threat that forced the U.S. to join their attack on Iran.
And was there an imminent threat? Did you tell lawmakers that there was an imminent threat?
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths.
Oh, goody, I get to open my Happy Meal. Mr. President, Prime Minister Netanyahu on your cell phone. Hello, your Zionists. Your Highness. No, little Marco does not need to be fired, at least not just yet. Didn't you see any of my episodes of The Apprentice? I'm not ready to throw him under the bus just yet. Why? Well, because I might have to do that on my next invasion when we invade Cuba. I'm going to let little Marco take most of the blame for that one. What's that? No, like I said, little Marco does not need to be fired for saying that Israel was the imminent threat and that you guys forced us into the war. All right? Listen, I know what I have to do to spin this to the press, so just leave it to me. I'm going to tell them that it was just the fog of war, the fog of war. Little Marco got caught up in all of that hazy fog of the epic fury. He just got confused. And he misread your Hebrew script you gave us. How about next time you give us a script in English? No, I told you I'm not going to fire little Marco, and you better stop threatening me, Bibi. You better stop threatening to release those Epstein secret videos you have, or you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to tell the world? That's right, I'm going to tell everybody the entire Bible is nothing but a made-up lie by you Jews and the Vatican. And what do you think that's going to do to your whole "we are the chosen people, greater Israel agenda"? Dead on arrival, that's right. Especially when after that I announce to the world that UFOs and aliens are real. And I bring 3 different alien species right here into the Oval Office for a Big Mac McDonald's lunch. Mr. President, we're live to the nation in 30. Okay, thank you. Listen, Bibi, I got to run. I go live in 30. You better chill out with the blackmail threats and let me do what I do best. Yeah, hail Zion, whatever. We now interrupt our regularly scheduled programming and take you live to the White House for a special emergency presidential address. Mr. President, we go live in 5. Thank you. My fellow Americans, there seems to be a little bit of confusion over why I launched Operation Epic Fury. And I just wanted to come on tonight because the fake news has been, screaming and hollering about me not giving any good reasons why. So I wanted to come on tonight and clear up the confusion. Please forgive any interruption of your favorite programming, unless, of course, I'm interrupting Bill Maher. All right? Nothing but a failed comedian with clear Trump derangement syndrome. If you're a Bill Maher fan, you're not missing anything anyway. But I just wanted to come on tonight and speak to the American people and clear up the confusion, because it really is understandable. It may seem like very contradictory reasons that I've given, but it's understandable because of a phenomenon known during battle of something that's called the fog of war. So I just wanted to come on tonight and explain to the American people why each of our official reasons for invading Iran may have seemed contradictory. There's a reason why. It's a common phenomenon that happens during battle. It's called the fog of war. And the fog of war is just unavoidable in such military operations like this. Trust me, believe me, and everyone knows that if you've ever watched the movie Apocalypse Now. A lot of fog in that movie. That I can tell you. Very foggy movie. And look what happened to Marlon Brando's character at the end. Very sad. Very delusional. So just like Brando's delusional character, when little Marco said what he did, that Israel was the imminent threat, and that they told us they were going to attack anyway, and it forced our hand, and I can't believe he said that on camera, but when little Marco did that, that was just him getting caught up in the fog of war and being dazed and confused. And if anything, trust me, believe me, I can tell you that in all of that foggy haze, it was probably me who forced Israel's hand and made them feel like they had to attack along with us. To be honest with you, it was probably me. And since I made that decision, we have decimated Iran's military.
Mr. President, the U.S. consulate in Saudi Arabia was just blown up by an Iranian drone.
That was probably Israel. Trust me, believe me, probably Israel. Anyway, as I was saying, our mighty military has totally decimated Iran's military.
Mr. President, 5 of our critical billion-dollar radar tracking stations in Iraq have just been destroyed.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. As I was saying, our mighty military has completely annihilated Iran's military. Now they have no choice but to completely surrender all of their oil to us and allow me and my Chevron and Mobil and Exxon donors to select their next supreme leader like I did in Venezuela.
Mr. President, one of our military bases in Kuwait just took 2 direct hits by Iranian missiles with reports of serious casualties.
Okay, Carolyn, can you give it a rest, okay? Can you go, I don't know, make a pot of coffee or something? Thank you. You see what I mean? The fog of war has affected even little Caroline Levitt. It's not just Marco. She's delirious, dazed and confused too. And with that, I will go ahead and take a few of your questions.
Mr. President,
Go ahead, Peter Ducey.
Mr. President, Peter Ducey, Fox News. After your bombing of Iran last year, you have consistently told the world that you utterly destroyed Iran's nuclear facilities. Yet, the initial reason you gave for why you attacked Iran this time was because they were 1 week away from having a nuke. So my 2-part question is, how can both statements be true? And how can it be the fog of war when you made that claim for an entire month before launching this war?
But obviously, that was the fog of pre-war. Anyone with any military background and experience would know that. It doesn't just get foggy during war. Oftentimes it gets even more foggy in the month leading up to war. The fog of pre-war.
Sir, just one follow-up. Isn't it true you managed to get a deferment from going to Vietnam and no one in your family's history has ever served in the military?
Okay. No more questions from fake news Ducey. Who's next?
Mr. President,
Go ahead.
Mary Bruce, ABC News. So after Secretary Rubio said Israel was going to attack Iran before us, you are now saying that you were going to attack Iran before Israel. Can you tell us, is that your final answer, or will you need to use a lifeline and maybe call a friend?
Are you trying to be a comedian or a journalist? Because either way, like Bill Maher, you're an epic failure at both. Who are you with?
ABC News.
Fake news. And, I just have to say, you're a disgusting person, okay? You're a horrible reporter, too. All right? I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I don't think I've ever seen you wear a short skirt and heels. Why don't you wear a miniskirt for me? I'll tell you what, I'll answer your stupid question if you'll do one thing for me. Take your tongue and wipe it around your lips and make them real wet like this. And call me Daddy Donald. But you won't do that, will you? Because you're a horrible excuse for a woman. Next question.
Mr. President,
Go ahead.
Babu, Marrakesh, Politico. Mr. President, just curious, has your official narrative changed in the last 5 minutes since your answer to Fox News' Peter Ducey about why the U.S. attacked Iran?
Wow. That's a great question. Who are you with?
Politico.
Well, I'm really impressed, Pinocchio, because you clearly understand politics and the way the fog of war works. Because yes, as it turns out, since I answered Peter's question, what was it, like 5 minutes ago, my answer is going to have to change, because the answer I gave, that it was me who was going to bomb Iran first, turns out that's not looking very good in the polls. Turns out it's looking like that's going to probably get me impeached. But see, this is a perfect example of how hard it is to find the right answers in the middle of the fog of war. Who knows, maybe I'll turn out to be as delirious as Marlon Brando at the end of Apocalypse Now. What do you think of that, Peter?
Well, I think that's exactly the horror that most of the world is afraid of right now.
You know what? I just have to say, Peter, you're a horrible person too. You're a horrible reporter too. You're as horrible of a reporter as Bill Maher is a comedian. Anyway, back to Pinocchio's very astute question.
That's political.
Whatever. Nobody cares. It should be Pinocchio because your huge nose does look like it's getting longer every second. But back to your very good question. Yes, in fact, my official narrative has changed since I answered Peter's question. My new official narrative for Operation Epstein Fantasy, Epic Fury, is that me and Netanyahu did a 10-second countdown and we launched the attacks at the very same moment. So now that I've cleared that up, I'm going to clear something else up. I'm going to unclassify now something that's been highly classified, and this is the real reason why the U.S. and Israel had to attack Iran. I'm going to declassify it for the world right now. The reason why we had to attack Iran when we did was because if we didn't, they were going to nuke and invade Greenland. That's right. That's why I've always said the United States has to have Greenland and Canada, because if we don't take them, Iran will. No further questions.
Mr. President,